Lydia Barton had a keen sense of when others were tingling, and she also noticed that other people did not seem to have this same awareness that she did. And so the tingle assessment tracks back to her early notes that she shared with others about when certain individuals would tingle. That was back in 1752, and the tingle assessment has grown since then. The two-phase tingle assessment was introduced by Ramona Langdon in the early 1900s. Welcome to Tingledom. The tingle assessment is all about developing your own unique tingle profile so that we can delve into and explore what aspects most make you tingle, and so all your experiences in Tingledom can be catered to your specific preferences. Since you do have experience with tingles or ASMR, whatever you want to call it, today's session will be more of a fact-finding mission than experiential. While I'll simulate some of the topics that we cover, we will not necessarily be testing you on each one, because I'm sure that you have experience and we can focus just on those that are particular for you. On your initial assessment that we do today, there are 7 different areas that we will hit, just to make sure we have a good basis for understanding your particular tingle profile. Your tingle profile is recorded on this document that we have here, and this record is kept here but shared with everybody who you book a consultation with, or it's also sent out to the restaurant so that the waiters and waitresses will be able to uniquely cater to your specific profile. The first section that we will look at is voice. Now, Lydia Barton was able to make her voice exactly what another person needed to hear, because she could just tell. She knew when her voice was working and she knew it wasn't, and that constant feedback allowed her to perfectly calibrate her voice to what her client needed. But us mere mortals need a little bit more assistance than that. The 6 main ways that we conceptualize voice are whisper. So for a whisper, we consider this an audible level of speaking, but where there is no voice to the tonation. So no hum or any thing like that behind the voice. A regular voice is a voice louder than this voice. I never like to go into a regular voice unless somebody specifically knows that they like a regular voice. But a tone of voice that's at quite a normal volume, not being excessively loud, but also not excessively quiet. We also have a semi-inaudible voice, and I'll give a little sample of that in a moment, but first I'll describe it for you. A semi-inaudible voice is a voice which is below a whisper, so it has no tonality and no volume to it, but it also is not completely understandable. Only little bits and pieces can be understood, and I'll give an example here. So we have a semi-inaudible voice. It's more like this. The voice goes more to the back of the throat, and you can really only hear the mouth sounds. So that's an example of the semi-inaudible. Now, quite common as a default here in Tingledom is for a combination between whisper and soft-spoken, which is the method I've been using here, and we call that a combination voice. Many people will find that they get the most tingles with a whisper voice, but that it can wear off very quickly. Whereas if there is a combination between soft-spoken and whispering, then when you bring those whispers around, you'll still tingle later into the session. And then finally, just as an aspect around the voice, we have accent. So if you like a British accent or German, Italian, an Indian accent, these sort of accents, people can find that particular accents may be more pleasing to their ear and help them get those extra tingles. So for you, yes, you enjoy mainly a combination for whisper and soft-spoken, and then semi-inaudible or accents, just whatever a natural voice is. Wonderful. So now we get on to our second portion. Be looking at our triggers. Now, fun little fact about triggers is, did you know that Queen Flyby, Queen of Tingledom, does not know what her triggers are? She says she doesn't really conceptualize things in triggers, so it's not a method that really works for her. So if it's something that you have a hard time with or can't identify in yourself, or you don't like to think that way, don't worry, you're not alone. So common triggers are scratching sounds, tapping, blowing, page turning, watching somebody else concentrate significantly on a task, the sound of rain, crinkles, scissors, zippers, mouth sounds, typing, fabric sounds, hearing your own name said to you, hand movements, candles and the flicker of candles, pointing, brushing, gum chewing, writing, marble or rock clinking, water noises, fire crackling, gloves, leather, button clicking. Now, with these triggers, as I said, if you aren't aware of triggers and don't like to conceptualize that way, don't worry at all. But if you are aware of triggers part of what we do with the whole Tingle Profile, not just with this part, is it also helps us recommend what experiences might be really good for you. For example, if you really like fire crackling and menu reading, then maybe we would send you to the s'more shop where they have a nice fire there in the background. They'll read the menu to you, tell you all about the lovely menu that they have there. So I'll just go through and you just say yes or no. So scratching, tapping, that's what we get into in more detail in the follow-up. Yeah, so just if you like it in any way, then blowing, page turning, concentration. Yeah, I find that as well. Rain. Rain's lovely, isn't it? Crinkles. Scissors. Zippers. Mouth sounds. Typing. Fabric sounds. Your name. It's very common. Lots of people love to hear their name. Hand movements. Candles. Pointing. Brushing. Gum chewing. Writing. Marble or rock clinking. Water noises. Fire crackling. So I was preached to the choir there. Gloves. Leather. Yeah, fabric sounds and leather do often go together, and then button clicking. Okay. Our third section is professional ASMR. And this is at the heart of what we do here in Tingledom. Obviously, personal attention and, spa visits, everything like that. But those are things that people can often access back home. So professional ASMR is where we diverge a little bit, in that you can have regular everyday experiences from when you signed your non-disclosure agreement with the lawyer before you've come here to booking a fashion consult and the like. All of these experiences are crafted to help you still relax while simulating a experience, or in some cases they are a genuine experience as well, that you may have in another context, but this one will help you relax as well. I'm just going to go through these, and if you know that it's something that has made you tingle in the past, or you have an interest in, just let me know. So we have librarian, if you're interested in the Tingledom library. A real estate agent, if you like to get descriptions of homes and features, see floor plans and the like. Architect is a bit more technical in knowledge, not quite as salesy, a little bit more discussing where exactly walls and beams and that sort of thing would go. Waitress. May have to send you to that s'more shop then. Lawyer, did you enjoy your non-disclosure agreement meeting? That's good. Sommelier, if you like to hear all about the features of wines and the different flavors and notes. Chocolatier, similar, but this time chocolate instead. It's a little more up your alley. Fashion designer for designing you wonderful personalized clothing. interior design for helping you pick out the perfect design for your home. Good with the language. Personal analysis. These would get into your fashion consultation, color analysis, body analysis, face analysis, and the like. Sales. Some people love to see a salesperson describe all the features of a wonderful object, or this gets into, well, our next one, personal shopper as well. Travel agent to discuss upcoming potential trips that you could take. These could be real or imagined. One of my favorite was a trip that I had that was planned to go to Middle Earth and explore, going along with Frodo and Sam. Obviously, Tingledom's magical, but not quite that magical. But which goes into our next one, which is a magician, sleight of hand, and all of that. Artist, if you like to see drawing, painting, chef, or to see the process of cooking, or somebody with extreme knowledge about fine quality food and the like, or teacher. So that covers our first page. I'll just get into our second page. So this, our fourth section, is our personal section, talking more about personal attention. And if you have particular interest in these things where they can be melded into other experiences, we'll attempt to do that. So, haircuts. I think most people love a good wash and haircut. Manicure or pedicure. Ear cleaning. Yeah, it's a little too intense for me. A massage. No, everyone loves a good massage. Well, not everyone. Everyone's unique. Medical role play, or if you do need an actual medical consultation as well. Or hair brushing. Now, our next section is our mannerisms. With our mannerisms, this is more the approach that someone will take with you. What sort of way that they present. We all have our own unique way of presenting, and different people carry different mannerisms. So this helps us point you in the right direction of those whose mannerisms will most match what works for you. So, on our mannerisms, our first is detailed descriptions. So there are some people who could, look at a piece of fabric and spend a half hour telling you every detail about that fabric. If you love those detailed descriptions, then this is the mannerism for you. Again, these go into more detail on the follow-up, so if that sounds like too much detail for you, but you still like detailed descriptions, again, we would take that so we can follow up on that one. The next is an air of authority. So somebody who projects the authority, who present as a powerful figure, and in some way helps you feel like you are in the inner circle of somebody who has great authority. On the other hand, we have timidity and cuteness. Somebody who might come off as a little bit more shy and just kind of cute and relatable. And another way of approaching is the idea that we're sharing a secret together, which is often done with a whisper, but there is something very intoxicating about the idea that you are in on something that nobody else is. Yeah, I quite enjoy that as well. In a similar vein, but more illegal, is conspiratorial. So, as if we were planning a heist for a bank. Oh, let's plan this and it'll be a bit devious. Yeah, not for everyone. There's also mysterious. Somebody who leaves a lot to the imagination and has an air of mystery about how they present. Yes, I like a little bit of mystery myself. And then finally is a comforting and kind, caring, just overall just presenting as ultimate care for you. That's very popular as well. So our second to last section is on educational content. There are many people who enjoy some types of educational content and steer clear of others. So we have a number of different areas. So science, this would include if you like any sort of physics, biology. Biology in particular is quite popular in general. And a separate section but related is space. Space in particular is very fascinating to a lot of people. It takes us beyond the bounds of our planet. Yeah. History is one that's a bit divisive, actually. Some people love to delve into the past to find out what happened, and some find it a little too boring, even for relaxation purposes. Don't worry, you're not alone. Mathematics is another one. It's okay. Finance. Yeah, many people who don't enjoy mathematics don't enjoy finance. Language, so understanding the structure of language, how it flows, and the like. Culture. I thought you would have an interest in culture, just seemed like your go. And finally, how-tos, so a little bit more practical education, a step-by-step guide on how to achieve a particular task. I thought that would be up your alley. Now we've made it to the very last section, which is the magical. It's obviously not something that we focus on a lot. It's more something that people tend to stumble upon and find on occasion. But if the magic is something that really does interest you, real and genuine magic, then it's good to know what types you're interested in. I don't expect you will have had experience in any of these since you are rather new to Tingledom. So it's more so what might pique your interest. So we have 5 types of magical subtypes. almost very ethereal. Makes me think of just something that feels out of this world. The mystic forest is actually what that makes me think of, but yeah, it can be a bit, I agree. It doesn't have as much grounding, and people can have a hard time believing it's genuine. Specific universes, so as I said, exploring other magical universes. This is a more imagination type area, but there is some crossover where we can help you enhance those experiences with the magic available here. Yeah, I thought you'd be interested in that. The other is just magic, straight up. This would be things like, the anti-gravity room, time reversal. It's very, very short time periods, not like time travel, which we'll get to. I can see your eyes, you look very interested. Mysticism, so more mystical astral planes and all this sort of thing. Not a worry. And then time travel. Yeah, I haven't had too many people who aren't interested in time travel. We have very limited abilities for time travel, so it is rare for people to actually get to experience it, but those who do say it's absolutely amazing. So that is our 7 areas. We've got your voice, triggers, professional, personal, mannerisms, educational, and magical items down here. This will be recorded with your name, and it will be distributed so that everyone will know what your profile is, so that we will be able to adapt and personalize all your experiences in Tingledom just